Welcome back once again, all of my low-carb friends, and for those of you who are here for the first time, a big welcome to you. Today, we are going to take a trip and visit my man, the Muffin Man. Muffins are amazing. You can make them sweet, you can make them spicy, you can make them savory, and they're already separated out into their own individual portions, so you can just grab and go. They're wonderful, they're amazing, I love them. And today, we have two quick and easy keto muffin recipes. The first one is for keto coconut flour blueberry muffins, a classic. The second is for keto coconut flour vanilla coffee muffins with a coffee glaze that is so good. And it can be used on anything that you want a glaze on. It is so yummy. In fact, a few videos back I showed you guys how to make coconut flour cinnamon rolls. Well, if you want to spice things up a bit, instead of that vanilla glaze that's on those cinnamon rolls, you can swap it out for this coffee glaze and put that on the cinnamon rolls, and it will be so yummy. And if you want printable versions of these, you can check out my website at janetsdeliciouslowcarbkitchen.com. You can find printable versions of these and other goodies there for you. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see lots more of delicious keto recipes, make sure you click that subscribe button, and right next to the subscribe button there's a little notification bell. Make sure you click that notification bell, that way you can be notified every time I put out a new video. And if you want to help support the channel, make sure you scroll down in the description of the video. There are some Amazon affiliate links. Anytime you purchase anything from Amazon using my affiliate link, a small portion will go to me, which will help to support the channel. Even if you don't want the item that it routes you to, just go to the Amazon search bar, search whatever you want. As long as you are using my affiliate link, a small portion will go to me, which will help to support the channel. And while you do all that, let's get cooking. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line a 6 to 8 cup muffin tin with paper liners, or you can lightly spray 6 to 8 muffin cups. You just want to make it to where the muffins aren't going to stick. In a large mixer bowl, combine a half cup of coconut flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of brown swerve or brown sugar sweetener of your choice. You can use monk fruit sweetener or white granulated sweetener if you want, but personally I really like a brown sugar taste in my baked goods, so I'm using the brown swerve. But if you prefer more of a traditional white sugar type flavor, then granulated monk fruit sweetener or any type of granulated sweetener of your choice will also work. Add 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1/8 teaspoon of xanthan gum. This just helps give the batter a little bit more binding power, and it also gives the batter a little bit more stretch. That way you'll get at least a little bit of a rise on your muffins. Whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the brown swerve or the coconut flour. If you need to, you can use your fingers and break up any lumps that might occur in the brown swerve. Brown swerve can be a little bit sticky, and so it can have lumps that are harder to get out. So if you need to, get your fingers in there and rub the bigger lumps out. It's okay if they're small lumps, you just don't want any big ones. Add 3 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature, that way you can have a nice smooth batter. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just until you get the dry ingredients moist. Then increase the speed to medium and beat on medium for about 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined. Scrape down the sides if you need to. Add a half cup of softened room temperature butter. Make sure it is softened, not melted. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Beat these again on medium for another 30 seconds or until they're fully combined. Again, scrape down the sides of the bowl if you need to. Then add 1/4 cup of room temperature sour cream. Again, you want this to be room temperature. When your ingredients are room temperature, you have a smoother batter, which results in a more moist baked good. So make sure your sour cream is room temperature. Then again, beat on medium for about 25 to 30 seconds or just until the sour cream is all combined and you have a nice creamy batter. Scrape down the sides of the bowl once again and push all the ingredients to the center of the bowl. Then gently fold in about a half cup of fresh or frozen blueberries. If you do use frozen blueberries, make sure they are thawed and drained before you add them. Make sure you gently fold in the blueberries. You don't want to smash any of the berries. I usually add them in small amounts. I add a little bit and I fold them in, then I add a little bit more and fold it in until the whole half cup is folded in gently. You can also use more or less blueberries according to your taste. Fill your prepared muffin cups with about 1/4 cup of the batter in each one of the muffin cups. Use a knife and gently smooth out the tops of the muffins. You want to make sure you've got a flat top. Coconut flour really doesn't rise or reform when it's being baked. So pretty much whatever you leave this top looking like, that's what it's going to come out looking like. So if you don't smooth the top of your muffin, you're going to have a very strange looking top. So make sure you use a knife and smooth it just a little bit, just so it's going to look like a muffin. Then bake at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes or until the muffins are golden on top and a tester comes out clean. Mine took exactly 25 minutes and it was perfect. Again, as I always say, everybody's oven is different. So 25 to 30 minutes, you're looking for them to be golden, not necessarily firm. Gluten-free baked goods are soft when they are done. So you're looking for it to be golden and a tester to come out clean. They will be soft. Once they're done baking, remove them from the oven and let them cool in the pan for about 15 to 20 minutes or until they're firm enough to be able to handle them without them falling apart. Once they've firmed up, transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before trying to remove the liners. If you're not using liners and you just sprayed your muffin cups, you'll want to let the muffins stay in the pan until they are cooled completely. But if you're like me and you use liners after 15 minutes, you can remove the muffin in the liner out of the muffin tin and put them on a wire rack and let them cool completely. Now remember, gluten-free baked goods are always very fragile when they are warm. So when you do take them out, be careful and allow them to cool completely before you try to take the liners off. Once they're cooled completely, place them on a plate, serve your desired amount, and eat and enjoy. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Line 9 muffin cups in a muffin cup tin with paper liners. Or if you don't have paper liners, you can lightly grease 9 muffin cups. Make sure if you do grease them lightly. You don't want to go overboard. In a large mixer bowl, combine 1 cup of coconut flour, a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of instant espresso or instant coffee, or you can do like I do. I use 2 teaspoons of regular coffee granules and I just grind them into a powder in my coffee grinder because I like a little bit of specks in my muffins of the coffee. But if you don't like the specks and you want it completely smooth, then use instant coffee or instant espresso. And a 1/2 cup of monk fruit sweetener or granulated sweetener of your choice. Whisk these all together until they're fully combined and there are no lumps in the flour. Also, if you're wanting the muffin to not be a coffee flavored muffin, you can always just leave the coffee granules or the instant coffee out and it just tastes like a vanilla muffin. So if you ever want to make these muffins but you don't feel like having a coffee flavor, you can just use these as straight vanilla muffins and they're just as tasty. Once you've whisked all the dry ingredients together, then add 4 large room temperature eggs. Make sure they are room temperature so you get a nice smooth batter. Beat on low for about 10 seconds or just to get the dry ingredients moist. Then increase the speed to medium and beat on medium speed for about 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined. Scrape down the sides of the bowl and add 1 cup of room temperature coconut milk. I just used the one out of the can. You can use any coconut milk you want or any milk of your choice. If you're not a coconut milk fan, you can use any milk you want. Just 1 cup of it and make sure it's room temperature. And 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Beat everything together on medium for about 30 seconds or until everything is fully combined and you have a smooth batter. Scrape down the sides of the bowl again and push all the ingredients to the center of the bowl. Then scoop the batter out about a 1/4 cup at a time and place it into the center of each of the prepared lined muffin cups. Once they're all scooped out, use a butter knife and just smooth the tops just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure that it's smoothed out enough to where it cooks evenly. You don't want one side of the muffin cup to have all the batter and the other side not to have anything. So make sure you just smooth it down, smooth it out just a little bit just so it's nice and fairly even in there. Then bake at 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes or until the muffins are golden on top and a tester comes out clean. Mine took 25 minutes exactly and it was perfect at 25 minutes. Remember, this is a gluten-free recipe. Gluten-free baked goods always come out soft, but they will firm up as they cool. So don't look for it to be firm, look for it to be golden and a tester to come out clean. Once it's all done baking, allow it to cool in the pan for about 10 to 15 minutes or just until the muffins have firmed up and you can easily transfer them to a wire rack. Once they've cooled and firmed up, transfer them to a wire rack and allow them to cool completely before putting the glaze on. Once they are cooled completely, you can eat them just as they are. If you don't want to put any type of glaze or anything on them, you don't have to. They taste great just as they are. But of course, for me, I am going to put on a glaze. For the glaze, in a small bowl, combine a 1/2 teaspoon of instant espresso or instant coffee, or again, I just ground up some of my granular coffee. I just ground it up into powder, and I use this again because I like flecks in my glaze. If you don't want any flecks, then use instant espresso or instant coffee. Either or, it needs to be a 1/2 teaspoon. Add a 1/4 teaspoon of hot water and use a fork and stir the hot water and coffee together until it's fully combined and smooth. If you're using the granule powders like I did, you will have some flecks because, like I said, I like that in my glaze. If you don't, then just keep stirring it till it's smooth. Once the coffee and water is stirred together and it's smooth, pour it into either a large mixer bowl or a small mixing bowl, whichever you think you're going to use. If you're going to use a standing mixer, then put it into a standing mixer bowl. If you're just whisking it by hand, which is the best way to do it, then pour the coffee and water into a small mixing bowl. Add a 1/2 cup of powdered swerve or powdered sweetener of your choice, 2 teaspoons of milk of your choice, 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Use the whisk attachment on your standing mixer or a hand whisk, whichever one you prefer. And whisk this all together until it's fully combined. If you're using a standing mixer, then whisk it on medium just for 20-30 seconds, just until everything is fully combined. Once it's all combined, then you're going to add some more milk, about a 1/2 teaspoon at a time, until you get your desired consistency. What you're looking for is for the icing to be thick, but able to drip off of a spoon. So you want a thick glaze, but you want it to be pourable. You don't want it to be so thick that it won't drip off your spoon. So add in a 1/2 teaspoon of milk, whisk it in. If it's still too thick, continue to add 1/2 teaspoons at a time until you get the right consistency. Once the icing is done and the muffins are cooled, it's okay if they have a tiny bit of warmth in them, but you want them at least 90% cooled. Place the muffins on a piece of parchment paper, then use your spoon and spread the desired amount of glaze over each of the muffins. Now remember, this is a glaze, it's not a frosting, so you don't want a thick amount on top of your muffin. It's just enough to lightly cover the top, just to give it a taste of a glaze on top. Once your muffins are all glazed, you can eat them immediately, or you can store them in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 3 days. And that's our recipe of the day. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you give me a thumbs up like button, hit that subscribe button, leave me a comment if you want to. Let me know if there's any recipes that you'd like to learn how to make, and I'll do what I can to get those out there for you. And as always, keep cooking.